We get our speed from Mom and Dad.
They do stuff super fast. And now they got this new kitchen, so they're even faster. So they can help us with our free throws.
The time-saving Frigidaire Gallery line with a quick preheat and smudge-proof stainless steel that resists fingerprints and cleans easily. It's mealtime in no time, from start to clean. Frigidaire Gallery.
Save more during Frigidaire Gallery bonus days when you buy 3 or more qualifying appliances. See the full line of Frigidaire appliances at Ventura TV Electronics and Appliances.
Hi, I'm John Mallos. Welcome to this live edition of Connect with Me on the showroom floor at Ventura TV on this day. We're glad to be here on a Friday morning. And guess what, my friends? Another charity, a non-profit helping those in need to talk about on this day. But I'll bet my bottom dollar you've never heard of them. And they're right here in the Central Valley. 436-MeTV option 11. By the way, today's program sponsored by Turf Medics. Back in a moment. Glad to be back here on the Friday before Christmas here on the showroom floor at Ventura TV. It's Connect with Me on MeTV Fresno. And of course, as usual, my friends, you're watching us on Comcast channel 187 and 43.6 and of course 13.1. You can watch the replay anytime that you choose, but specifically at 2 o'clock and 13.6 and 8 o'clock tonight at 13.5. That's YouTube and Biz TV. And so plenty of opportunities to catch us after this thing gets posted on YouTube. You can watch us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, even at 3 o'clock in the morning if you're having a problem sleeping at night. Anyway, today's program, I want to mention Lorenzo Neal. He's the head of this organization called Turf Medics. That's where you paint your lawns green, and even during the summer months when you can't water, because we all know there's a water shortage even with all this rain, you can buy Turf Medics and your lawn will look like the 18th or the 17th green at Pebble Beach, and we all like that, right? Hey, it's time to talk about another charity, a non-profit organization. You might recall yesterday we had the folks from the Fresno Rescue Mission here, and I would have to say that the Pavarillo House and the Fresno Rescue Mission, those are two high-profile organizations, non-profits, right here in the Central Valley. But I would bet my bottom dollar on this nonprofit that we're talking about today. It's located in Kingsburg. It's been around 35 years, but I would bet you have never heard of it. It flies low, under the radar. Let's go to the videotape and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about on this Friday morning here. It's called the Kingsburg Community Assistance Program and Services. It's called CAPS, and they have offices in 3 different locations. That would be Kingsburg, Traver, and London. Now, if you live in any one of those communities, you can go in and pick up a free bag of groceries once a month for the needy. You got to be, in need of this this particular item, whether it be cereal, canned foods, whatever it might be. In addition, people can pick up clothing and they can receive help with guidance, education, job skills, and much more. This is a nonprofit, Christian-based organization that serves nearly 4,000 people a year. That's about 100 people a month or so, give or take, and they pass out more than 7,000 bags of groceries during that time period. Their Thanksgiving food drive is the biggest of the year, as CAPS receives more than 4,000 bags of groceries from various parts of the community, as what you see here, and in turn they pass those bags of groceries out to the needy. I see some cereal boxes there. CAPS has 12 employees in all and more than 100 volunteers, and takes in more than $50,000 a year in cash donations. As you can imagine, Christmas is a special time of year, hey, not only for this organization, but for all of us, or most of us. Live in our studio right now is Aida Rushing. She is the Executive Director of CAPS right here in the Central Valley over in Kingsburg, and she is here to take your phone calls today, 436-MeTV option 11. How many of you have heard of CAPS? How many of you have heard this organization all the good things that they do throughout the entire year for those in need in the Central Valley, specifically in those 3 areas, those 3 tiny small communities that I mentioned. Well, you can call in with your questions. Today's program sponsored by Turf Medics and our buddy Lorenzo Neal, back with our program on a Friday morning, the Friday before Christmas, in a moment.
As a pro athlete, I played on green grass my entire career and was stunned to find a product that could make my home look as good as the turf I've grown to love. Turf Medics is a revolutionary new turf coloring system designed to reduce watering and mowing. Call 1-888-936-0444 or visit the website at www.turfmedics.com to learn more about Turf Medics by Pro Turf, the real experts in real green grass.
And our thanks to Turf Medics and Lorenzo Neal and all of his partners out there that run that great organization. And so Ida Rushing is here with CAPS, and welcome to the program.
Thank you, John. Nice to be here.
Well, it's good to have you here. You look wonderful.
Thank
and here to talk about your organization.
Yes.
And it's been around, gosh, 35
Yes.
years. Never heard of the organization until now, of course. We're doing the show on it. But I'll bet not that many people have heard of it. You kind of fly under the radar. Why is that?
You know what we were told by one of our pastors in town is that we were the treasure of the town.
Which town is that?
Keansburg, yes.
Okay. Well, what about Traver? What about London?
Well, let's start with Keansburg.
Okay.
Keansburg was incorporated in 1979, the CAPS, Thrift Store and Emergency Services Organization.
Oh.
So it was really the vision and the dream of a young woman, about 26 years old, by the name of Cinder Rocker. And she just really felt the need and saw the need to help families.
She started the organization.
She started the organization, and it got incorporated in 1979. We have a board of just community members that support what we do, so they're my bosses. And then I am the executive director, and I oversee the CAPS, which has been going on, like I said, for 35 years. And 7 years ago, we decided, let's extend ourselves out to Traver, which is about 5 miles north of Keansburg. And all of the kids from Traver Elementary, after they graduate, attend Keansburg High School anyway. So they're part of who we are.
Yeah.
And then 2 years ago, we decided, let's extend ourselves out to the community of London, which is about 11 miles east. And some of the kids then in turn either go to Dinuba High or Keansburg High. And we just truly saw that there was a need to help those families that were less disadvantaged than ours.
What happened to the original founder?
She moved on. She moved forward, and
is she here in the valley?
No, she's not. She's in San Diego running another nonprofit.
Another nonprofit. So she
Yes.
started this one, and it's still going.
Yes. With the support, our major supporters are the community members, private donors. We are not government funded. We're just all private donations, and our churches. There's about 15 churches that support what we do.
I understand. And so we're looking at video here now of your organization. And tell us what this event was. This was the night before Thanksgiving.
Yes.
And tell us about this program here.
This was the night before Thanksgiving. Every year for the last 31 years.
What's going on here?
It looks like they have just picked up grocery bags. Those grocery bags, they were empty grocery bags. 4,000 were delivered to 26 sections of our community of Keansburg in town, delivered to your doorstep.
Private homes?
Yes.
Okay, so you leave those bags on the doorstep, or maybe leave them with various people, and then those members of the community in Keansburg, they fill those bags with groceries, whatever kind of items, whether it's pasta or cereals or some kind of canned foods. And then what? They just leave that on the doorstep?
They leave it on the doorstep, and if you can, I think.
And
you
who
can
picks up
kind of
those
see
bags then?
Volunteers. We have
Young Life volunteers.
Young Life volunteers.
And who are they?
Young Life is a Christian-based youth organization that helps the youth of that community, and anyone from high school freshman to senior can attend. They meet on Monday nights, and it's right next door to the high school at 7, I think it's 757, and hang out with the kids and share Jesus.
So they picked up on the night before Thanksgiving, how many bags of groceries?
4,000.
And they delivered them to your
To our building.
Your building. And then in turn, what did you do with those bags?
Well, we had over 100 volunteers that we never promote that night. We're just there, and volunteers show up. We've had volunteers.
But those groceries, I'm saying, where do they go to whom?
Those groceries will fill our pantry for the next several months, probably up until May, which is our postal food drive. You know that postal food? Yes. And the volunteers that are there are actually boxing all of the food, separating it and boxing it and palletizing it for us. And we're also putting it into our pantry. So that food goes out monthly to families who are in need.
And like I said, they can show up once a month and receive obviously a bag of groceries.
Actually,
those families in need, right?
Yes, it's about 3 to 4 bags, over $150 worth of groceries that our families will meet, dependent on the size of your family.
What's the clientele like? The clientele of people that come in need of groceries, what are they like? Are they middle class? Are they lower class? Where are they on the economic spectrum?
It just depends.
But do you see a wide-ranging spectrum?
You know what? A few years ago, when the economy went really, really bad, we had all of our middle-class families in need.
Right.
So they were coming in, and they were so grateful for the opportunity to just be able to get groceries for their families. It's not what they wanted to do. It's not, you know, you don't want to go to the local food bank. And to be honest with you, our families that come in, it is because they are in need. And I would say probably the lower, 70% Hispanic, 30% Caucasian. But we don't turn anyone away. My motto is to err on the side of good. And so our hope and desire is that we would be able to meet those needs for our families. And it's just not food. We help with financial counseling, ESL classes. We also, someone comes in, we're a very small extension of the Salvation Army, so we can ring the bell, which we're doing currently in 3 different locations in Keensburg at Save Mart, at Walgreens, and at West America Bank. So we are also part of the REACH program, and we can do PG&E and those kind of assistance through that program, but also with our own private donations. It's just once we meet with a family and they share what is going on in their life and the type of assistance that they need, it's really up to our staff, myself, my emergency services personnel, to decide how we can help them. And again, all the money that's donated is private donations, so we can utilize those funds however we feel is best.
Right. Okay, we're talking with Aida Rushing. She is the Executive Director of CAPS in Kingsburg and Traver and London. And by the way, it's a non-profit organization, flies under the radar. Bet my bottom dollar you've never heard of them, but they've been around 35 years. 436 MeTV option 11. Back in a moment. Our program today sponsored by the one and only Lorenzo Neal and all of his great workers over there at Turf Medics. We're back in just a moment.
As a pro athlete, I played on green grass my entire career and was stunned to find a product that could make my home look as good as the turf I've grown to love. Turf Medics is a revolutionary new turf coloring system designed to reduce watering and mowing. Call 1-888-936-0444 or visit the website at www.turfmedics.com to learn more about Turf Medics by Pro Turf, the real experts in real green grass.
This fall, there is a place, familiar and inviting, timeless and warm. MeTV, a place all your own that you can call home.
Hi, honey, I'm home.
This fall, home is where you'll find me.
You mean to tell me that's all there is to it?
That's all.
MeTV Fresno, channel 43.6 and Xfinity 187.
Back here on the program, connect with me on MeTV Fresno. Aida Rushing is here from CAPS, and I got an email question for you. One of our viewers wants to know if your organization reaches out to the needy and the homeless here in Fresno County.
Well, Keensburg, and that's Fresno County.
But here in the Fresno
Not here
area.
in the Fresno area, we do not. So part of my...
Why is that?
You know, because we're already helping so many, the 3 communities,
Yeah.
and we're nonprofit and it's private donations. I wish we could. We actually...
You just can't reach out that far.
We just can't reach out that far. It's just too hard to do. But an example of reaching out this week, because it's Christmas, because it's the holidays, we did have a young couple call us from Fresno.
And
we helped them.
What? How?
They were currently homeless, and their car had broken down, and they just really needed assistance with getting their car repaired, and a place to stay because they had a baby, and they
my goodness.
They just couldn't find. There is so many neat organizations here, but that would take the 3 of them. They'd have to be separated, and they just didn't want to be separated. And it was a call after hours, and one of my staff members said, "What should we do?" And again, we err on the side of good, and we help them.
You err on the side of caution.
So we did.
Another email question. That's a great story. By the way, we've got a phone call here. Good morning, caller. You're on the air with Ida Rushing. Your question.
Yes. When I used to work in a soup kitchen, one of the problems was that you could not get any government aid or anything to the soup kitchen because you couldn't proselytize individuals coming through, talk about Christian ethics and things like that. Is that still a problem because of the separation of church and state and unable to obtain federal funding to programs like yours? Thank you very much.
For ours, we do want to share Jesus. And if we go forward with a government, we really aren't allowed to. I mean, they prefer that we don't.
Why?
So I don't know. I really don't know. I just know that when we have gotten free government assistance with food in the past.
Too many guidelines?
Too many guidelines.
Too many restrictions?
Yes.
Too many people telling you what to do, what you can and can't do? And so you want nothing to do with that?
Pretty much. We just want to love on people. Yeah.
No, I know. I mean, that's pretty much the bottom line.
Yeah,
right?
and you know what? And we're supported so well that we really don't need to go that route.
Isn't that crazy in a way that, if you're aligned with the government just hamstrings you? I mean, to a certain extent, really. I mean, you can talk openly about it. You're not connected to any government agency.
No, but when you're aligned with a community that just wants to support you, that's really cool. It really is Keensburg is an amazing community, and that's why we've extended ourselves out to Traver and London, because of the support.
So doesn't it prove to you, and we're getting into politics now, and I guess that wasn't the whole point of the program, but doesn't it prove to you that things can get done without the aid and assistance of government?
Well, it does. I know that.
Yeah, because you're doing it.
Yes.
Right. So you don't need government all the time to get things done. Isn't that right?
Yeah, not all the time.
What are your thoughts about that?
Well, for CAPS and our organization, no, we don't.
Yeah.
We're doing just great with, again, the support of the folks that love on us and the organizations in our community and that see. And like what you were sharing is we really are under the radar. We just keep on moving on.
Yeah. And see, I don't want to confuse people either, because if you're a family that is receiving government assistance, you can still receive a bag of groceries from your organization. So I don't want to confuse the two issues at all, because there are many families that are working, both parents working, 2 jobs, and they still can't make ends meet. And those are the people that are showing up at your doorstep. Isn't that right?
Yes. Yeah, they are.
How many of those people are showing up at your place wanting food? And they're working.
A lot. Many. I mean, we don't turn them away.
Yeah. See what I mean? Okay. Here's some more volunteers. And they're getting all the bags of groceries together and organized. This took place the night before Thanksgiving. The night before Thanksgiving of all times. It's amazing. They're out there working very, very, very diligently, as you can see. Another email question. Isn't the eastern part of the valley hardest hit economically? Areas like, Kingsburg, London, Traver, these are hard-hit communities from an economic standpoint, right?
Yes, they are. I was actually, and you know, I was raised in Traver, and the population is 700, and most, if not all, of the parents that, or the families that live there are farm laborers. So, you know, when the drought hit, that was tough. And London is probably considered the poorest community in the state of California, and I believe it gives or takes 18 to 2,000 population depending on the season. So it is tough. It is tough for our families, yet our families, they are so humble and so willing to do what they can for themselves.
Why is it the poorest community in California, do you think? Because it's farm related and the drought has hit?
I believe so, yes. And it's really off of the radar too. I mean, not very many people know about Traver or London. They know about Keansburg.
Yeah.
But it's, they're just, again, there are hidden little treasures.
Okay, I want to ask you about some of your programs here. So you say that people that go in, they can receive guidance. What kind of guidance? Like counseling
Yes.
or what?
Uh-huh.
What kind of counseling?
We have Christian counseling, we have family and marriage counseling, children counseling. We have 3 counselors that we work with, and we assist them as families come in need. We work really closely with the schools in all 3 locations, and or churches, and or just folks that come in stating, I need some kind of assistance, some kind of help. Rather than financial, they need counseling.
So you offer marriage counseling?
Yes, we do.
So you offer counseling to children who need it?
Yes.
You offer counseling to individuals who need it?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And so you have the staff to do that? You have counselors on staff?
We have counselors not necessarily on staff, but as needed, and we will cover the cost.
And they're
for,
legitimate
yes,
counselors?
Yes.
Okay, psychologists?
Yes.
Okay, all right,
Yeah.
interesting, all right. Good morning, caller, you're on the air.
Yes, good morning. I'd like to ask a question about the CAPS in Kingsburg. I am currently a Kingsburg resident, and I'd like to know what kind of help, assistance I could ask for. Like, I'm about to receive 3 foster children, and if I need a refrigerator, maybe. So, do you help with that kind of assistance?
Yes, we do.
Really?
Yes. Yeah, we do.
So you can help her purchase a refrigerator?
We would probably give it to her if she needed it. Depending
Really?
on depending on the situation, because again, we do have our thrift store, and we get donated furniture, appliances, and just dependent on the situation and what she's going through and what the needs of the children are. She would meet with our emergency service person. She would make a call and make an appointment, or she could show up and make an appointment, and we would go from there.
Okay, so are you still there, ma'am?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, so, okay, so you're in need of a refrigerator right now, is that right?
No. I haven't received the children yet. I haven't rented a place for me and them yet. If I were to need, like, mattresses or something like that, refrigerator, I'm just calling in ahead of time.
Oh, yeah, okay, so they would be able to help you with all that, I'm assuming.
Yeah. We would just, again, we would meet with her, sit down, find out situation, circumstances, but definitely we never sell any mattresses that get donated to us. We give those away, and yeah, we would be able to help her.
Okay, caller, you there?
Yes,
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
It'll
no
be
problem.
A big step to go from 1 person to 4 persons, for people.
Okay, I want you to watch the rest of... Ma'am, I want you to watch the rest of the program because we'll give out the phone number and the location before we go off the air, okay?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm a Kingsburg resident. I know where CAPS is, so it's fine. Thank you.
All right, thank you. But give out your phone number for those who may not know it and what your location is.
Sure.
Yeah, phone number and address.
Sure. Our phone number is 559-897-7961.
A little slower.
559-897-7961. And our address is 1139 Draper Street. in Kingsburg.
All right. Good deal. Ida Rushing is here from CAPS in Kingsburg, flying under the radar these days. We've all heard of Poverillo and the Fresno Rescue Mission, but how many of you have heard of this nonprofit organization? We're back after this message from Turf Medics and our guy, Lorenzo Neal.
As a pro athlete, I played on green grass my entire career and was stunned to find a product that could make my home look as good as the turf I've grown to love. Turf Medics is a revolutionary new turf coloring system designed to reduce watering and mowing. Call 1-888-936-0444 or visit the website at www.turfmedics.com to learn more about Turf Medics by Pro Turf, the real experts in real green grass.
Attention all units. We have reports of 2 motorcycle cops protecting California's highway.
That's for us, good buddy.
The Men of Chips are on MeTV.
Hi, I'm John Baker. I'm John Baker. It's Officer Baker.
He's the blonde one.
Hi there. Officer Poncherello, man.
Frank Poncherello.
Oh, I'm Frank Poncherello.
And he's the one who's Eric Estrada.
There's no way I wouldn't remember a name like that.
Catch the blonde one and the one who's Eric Estrada on
Now
Chips.
on MeTV Fresno, Xfinity 187.
Back here on the program with Ida Rushing from CAPS in Kingsburg. So you give all this guidance, but so let me ask you a question, kind of follow up that phone call. And so if someone is in need of a mattress, a refrigerator, a stove, so all they have to do is call you.
If we have them.
If you have them, you can help them acquire those items.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes. And if we don't have them, what I like to do, since we now have Facebook, we have our newsletter, depending on the situation, the emergency, we can just post it and share with our friends that follow us on Facebook or the folks that read our newsletter and just say we have this need, and generally it's met.
Caller, go ahead, you're on the air.
Yeah, I first want to commend her and her organization. I've never heard of the program, but you know what, for as many years as she's done that service to the people, and I didn't know there were, you know, people like her and volunteers, because it takes a lot of volunteers to help keep going this program, you know, and I think the Lord has really kept them going in that sense. A lot of young people have donated their time, and, you know, other people too, but she's doing a service that we wish that everybody can do, you know. It's not an easy job, because you have to organize everything, you know. And the thing is that people like her should always be kind of, you know, it was me or my family in need, which, you know, sometimes we have to go, you know, to a place where we need food or whatever, and not be turned away. But it's a satisfaction that there are people like her in their group, you know, because a lot of us are embarrassed to go to you know, food banks and ask for food and all that, because we had never been in that situation. Sometimes we have, you know, 2 people in income, and we're barely making it, you know, whether it be the mortgage and whatever, you know, and we hate to ask for help, you know. Other people, you know, they need the help, you know, especially in, you know, around the Kingsburg area and all that, you know, you have people that need her help and the group and all that. And I commend her and the group and the volunteers that keep it going, you know. It's just like, you know, John has this program, and there's a lot of programs we've never heard. And without that program, we wouldn't even know you had one in Kingsburg, you know. I'm from Sanger, so I said, oh man, they're close by, you know. So, but you know, I want to commend you for your time and effort and your volunteers.
Okay. Hey, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. What a great call. Good compliment for you.
Thank you.
I'm kind of chuckling here because you're not the founder. You've only been there 6 years, 7 years.
7 years as a director.
But it is hard because there are so many volunteers, and you need these people.
Yes, and I wanted to talk a little bit about that.
Go ahead.
Without our volunteers, we would not be who we are. Those volunteers.
You couldn't do it alone, could you?
No, not with 12 staff members, no. All of when we talk about services that we provide or events, we do a lot of ministry events that we do. We can't do it without the volunteers. We just completed 3 Christmas toy stores, which we call our Christmas with Dignity. It was solely supported by volunteers to get those 3 going. And
Yeah.
we just completed our last one this Tuesday.
Yeah, and it looks like you have volunteers of all ages, sizes, and shapes, and
Yes.
whatever. But you've got kids there volunteering. Look at that.
Yes, they come as they've been doing this. This is tradition for some of the families. We have one family that comes from Walnut Creek.
And what are they doing? Are they separating some of the items and
Yes.
putting them in separate boxes, or what?
They are separate. Each bay has a separate food item underneath its bay. So you can see the ones going through the rollers are pulling, like, let's say, corn. And the little girl right there is boxing corn. And so we're all have it all in the same box and on the same pallet. So when our volunteers in the pantry see that our pantry is running low, they just go right to that bay and they grab a box of what they need.
And again, this was the night before Thanksgiving, doing all this. What's the location here? What are we talking about?
That is our warehouse.
Okay, and where's that located?
It's in the same building at 1139 Draper. Yes.
Okay, all right. Do you find that that if you did reach out beyond those three communities, and if you did come into Fresno or the Fresno area, would you then be in competition with, say, the Poverillo or the Fresno Rescue Mission? Is that why you're staying put in Kingsburg, Traver, and London?
I think I just can't extend myself that far.
Oh, is that right? Is that what it is?
You know what? It's we really love what the Poverello and the Rescue Mission do, and they do it well, and we want to support that. So I think our need, and the needs are being met here with those organizations. I think where we are is where we're best needed.
What are you in need of right now? What items?
We are always in need of food.
That's the main item.
That's the main item, and of course donations.
Any kind of food, non-perishable,
Any
right?
kind of non-perishable. We love perishable because we do have a big walk-in, and that's like, those are extras. Those are the special items.
You have a walk-in freezer.
We have a walk-in refrigerator and 4 freezers.
That.
Yeah.
4 freezers. But the non-perishable items are probably the most common.
They're the most common. You know, we're talking on those bags, the empty bags that we handed out before Thanksgiving food drive. It was a label on there, a sticker stating the needs that we, food needs: oil, flour, peanut butter. It's the staples that just to get the families through. And then we're blessed with partnering with Save Mart in Keensburg and Starbucks in Keensburg. So our volunteers pick up every day bread and pastries and those kind of other extras that we're able to provide to our families.
Really? So
Yes.
Save Mart and Starbucks are helping you guys out?
Absolutely.
Wow, okay. Ida Rushing is here from CAPS in Kingsburg. They're a nonprofit organization, been around 35 years now. We're going to continue our conversation. You're more than welcome to call in. Hey, that telephone number stays up there all the time, 436-MeTV, option 11. Lorenzo Neal and company and Turf Medics and all his fine workers out there are the sponsor of this program today. Back in just a moment.
As a pro athlete, I played on green grass my entire career and was stunned to find a product that could make my home look as good as the turf I've grown to love. Turf Medics is a revolutionary new turf coloring system designed to reduce watering and mowing. Call 1-888-936-0444 or visit the website at www.turfmedics.com to learn more about Turf Medics by Pro Turf, the real experts in real green grass.
Frigidaire. It means the first refrigerator. It means a history of innovations that help make your home life better. And now we introduce the new Frigidaire French door refrigerator with over 100 ways to organize for maximum flexibility. Built with adjustable flip-up and slide-under shelving and stackable crisper drawers. It's the refrigerator that flexes to fit it all, no matter what your day will bring. Frigidaire, over 90 years of legendary innovation.
See the full line of Frigidaire appliances at Ventura TV Electronics and Appliances.
Back here on the program today, 436-MeTV, option 11. So are you, let me ask you about this publicity thing. Are you glad to fly under the radar, or would you like more publicity and you want more people to know about you? Or do you just want to stay put where you are in terms of flying under the radar?
You know, I appreciate that we have this opportunity, absolutely. And I think people need to know more about who we are and what we do.
Yeah.
It's just nice to have the support.
Yeah, yeah. Have you ever been written up in a big article, say in the Fresno Bee?
No, always in the our local.
Your local
Yeah.
paper. That's pretty much it, but not specifically the Bee. Well, maybe this might be an opportunity. Who knows?
Yeah.
The Poverillo does great work. The Fresno Rescue Mission does
They
great
do.
work with the homeless, as we found out yesterday during our program. They always have. They've been around since 1949. But here, the night before Thanksgiving, I mean, this is, you know, I talked about this in the break. I mean, you got conveyor belts there handling all this food. It's like one big giant puzzle. Everybody knows their position. Everybody knows where they're supposed to be and what they're supposed to be doing and what items they're supposed to box. I mean, it's like a well orchestrated marching band.
It is, and you know, everyone is so excited to be there, to do it, to serve this community and the people that we serve every day. And we really appreciate that. We actually have a 4-H group that has been doing it for 8 years.
Wow.
And they're just a really neat, we've seen them grow up.
Yeah, so you got some event, as we look at more of this video, some of those non-perishable items there. What's the event coming up this weekend?
We're really excited. We have partnered with KCC Church, and it is driven through their youth pastor and youth leaders.
What church is that again?
KCC, Kingsburg Community Church.
Okay.
And they just, those youth leaders and youth pastor have a real heart for Traver, the Traver community. So this Saturday, December 20th, between, I believe, 12:30 and 3:30, they will be making Christmas lunch for the entire community. So whoever shows up, and we're hoping and banking on
And where's
over
the lunch
200
taking place?
at our location in
At
Traver.
your location this coming weekend?
Yes.
On what day?
Saturday, December 20th.
At noon.
Yes, for the community of Traver.
Okay, so that's for anybody that lives in Traver.
Yes.
If you live in Kingsburg, you can't go.
Well, I'm sure you can go. They won't turn you away. But they're really just wanting to just serve that community. And we had the same thing during Thanksgiving, and we partnered with the London community, Citizens for a Better London. We purchased over $500 worth of turkeys. They got cooked, and we served to over 225 people free Thanksgiving meal.
Here's what I can't believe. I mean, that video that we saw there, we might have some more videotape, I don't know. But that video really doesn't serve us justice in realizing how well organized this event. I mean, you must have thousands of food items there. Thousands.
Yes, we do.
Thousands.
Our staff begins preparing for this food drive August.
Thousands of cans of food and boxes and cereals and all sorts of things. I mean, it's amazing.
So you see all those boxes. There's 700 of those made up, and they have to be made up before that night. So we have volunteers coming in and making those youth groups and setting up, clearing the warehouse. Because the warehouse is also used as the main distribution center for the thrift store. So we have to clear all that stuff out for that night.
And you're not standing up there on a platform with a bullhorn yelling out instructions. I mean, they know what to do.
Yes, they do.
So who taught them how to do all this? That's what I want to know.
You know, most of them have been coming for years, but what we do when we first, right before we actually start this part of the food drive, we meet with them. We share a little bit about what we're doing that night if they're new, and 2 of our staff members will go through the process.
So you're not up there like Donald Trump with a bullhorn with
No.
cracking with a whip,
No.
are you? I mean, they're just doing this voluntarily, and they're well organized, and they know what they're doing. Okay, let's talk about some of the other programs. I'm still amazed by that organization there. Educational programs that you offer are what? Give me some examples.
We offer tutoring at all 3 locations.
For who?
For the kids from all 3 communities.
What age groups?
Right now we're doing mainly elementary school through 8th grade. That doesn't mean in London we do tutor high school as needed, as school gets harder, math, those kind of things. And we have volunteers. It's all solely ran by our volunteers. When we post it out or I share about the need, they show up.
Yeah. So when you talk about having tutors, these are legitimate teachers, right?
Not all of them.
Not
all of them, but
okay.
for the most part, yeah, we do. We do have legitimate teachers that are willing after hours or that kind of thing. But it could be a high school student who is wanting to get some community service hours for college and just help some of our younger kids.
Hey, what about the job skills program? That's a very important one because I imagine, I don't even know what the unemployment rate is in Kingsburg or Traver or any of these other places like London or any of the other smaller towns. I would say it's pretty low
right now in the two. But what we do is job skills. That's part of the big reason that I felt the need to be out in London and Traver as the thrift stores. We also, again, we utilize our volunteers, but in Kingsburg we partner with like welfare to work programs, and they can then send their folks that are needing job skills to get out there and get out in the real world and start making it on their own. We have, since we're a retail store, it's sorting, bagging, working the pantry, working the floor, the thrift store floor, learning the cash register, even high school students, and they're learning these things that maybe they have never even been on a register before. And our managers work with them and train them and teach them, and we begin with interviewing them. It's like, what I say is you are going to a real job one day, and this is considered a real job.
Right.
We take it very seriously.
Preparing you for the real world. Yeah. And this is part of the real world, there's no question. Yeah. Hey, what about your household appliances in some of those thrift stores? Is there a surplus of some of those items, or are you in need of
We're in need of those.
Okay, give me an example of what you're in need of.
Refrigerators.
We have them right here at Ventura TV.
I know.
But no, I know. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Generally, like refrigerators, washers and dryers. A lot of families are in need of those.
Yeah.
So, and to purchase them at our thrift store, it's really inexpensive since they're donated to us. And if you have the need, like the lady that telephoned earlier, all she has to do is make an appointment depending on the situation and the circumstance. We would give it to her.
So anybody that's coming into Ventura TV and saying purchasing a brand new washer and dryer or a dishwasher or whatnot, and they want to donate their old one to your organization, CAPS, they're free to do so. And let's say they live here in Fresno. Will you go pick it up?
We don't. We only pick up in the Kingsburg community. It would be nice. And we've had people and folks that live in Fresno that have called us just because they've heard via, other people that support what we do and just said, we want to drop off some things to you because we know what you're doing.
But you can't pick it up if it's in Fresno.
We can't.
Why not?
We're just so limited. We have 12 staff and one person does all the pickups and with one volunteer. And we literally pick up 5 to 6 pickups a day. On a Friday, and that's a lot.
Yeah, it really is.
Because they have to come and unload and load back up and those kind of things. So.
Understood. Okay, Aida Rushing is here from CAPS in Kingsburg, a nonprofit organization. Been around 35 years. She's been the executive director for the better part of 7 years. Founded and incorporated back in 1979, a long time ago, doing a lot of good deeds here in the Central Valley, in addition to what the Poverillo and the Fresno Rescue Mission do. Back here with our program, Connect with Me on MeTV Fresno. But first, we got to take a time out and listen to our good friend Lorenzo Neal, all part of Turf Medics, our sponsor today.
As a pro athlete, I played on green grass my entire career and was stunned to find a product that could make my home look as good as the turf I've grown to love. Turf Medics is a revolutionary new turf coloring system designed to reduce watering and mowing. Call 1-888-936-0444 or visit the website at www.turfmedics.com to learn more about Turf Medics by Pro Turf, the real experts in real green grass.
Ladies' Night was started in his honor. Barstools pulled themselves out for him. The only thing Chuck Norris is afraid of is her. Cheers is the most memorable bar in the world. You may not always watch comedy, but when you do, watch Cheers.
MeTV Fresno, channel 43.6 and Xfinity 187.
Back here with Ida Rushing and talking about CAPS, and this is a Christian-based organization, so if someone wants to find Jesus, if someone wants to find God or find some kind of spiritual freedom or solace within their own heart, what do you offer?
Well, you know what? We do have the 3 thrift stores, but what I always say is our thrift stores are truly ministries. We have all of our staff members love the Lord with all their heart, and folks just come in here and they'll say, we just feel a peace here. And we just say it's the center of who the Lord is. That's who we are, and that's why we believe that CAPS has been going on for so long. We're available to pray with folks. We are available to minister and share. And
of all
listen.
faiths and religions?
Yeah, we just...
It doesn't have to be Christian. It can be Jewish. It can be Hindu. It can be whatever, right?
Well, we are a Christian organization.
Right,
but
I understand.
Anyone can come. Yeah,
but
absolutely.
anybody can come in, right?
Yes, anyone.
I mean, now that, you know, this time of year is also celebrated by the Jewish people. They celebrate Hanukkah.
Yes.
So if somebody wants to come in and get spiritually connected, they can do that, right?
Well, we would share, again, we would share who the Lord is with them and love on them. And we also have a Christian counselor that meets with those that are desiring that kind of counseling. And, you know, it's a really neat opportunity just to love on people.
Hey, our phone number here, 436-MeTV option 11. We got an open line. It's kind of open line Friday here. So I want to talk a little bit about what's going on for next week, Christmas. What do you have going on next week?
Well, like I shared, we are doing the...
Besides the luncheon.
The luncheon. Well, we're pretty much...
I'm talking about next week, like Christmas week, like Monday through Friday there. I know Christmas you're closed probably, right?
Yes, and we are pretty much done with all of our Christmas programs, other than, excuse me, I forgot to mention that we do a food box giveaway, and our Kingsburg food box giveaway will be this Saturday, and that's to about 100 families who signed up for that program. And it'll also be in Traver, but it'll be done on Sunday and in London today.
Right. Okay. What else do you have going on next week?
That's pretty much it. And
that's it.
Then we're done.
You're done.
Yes.
You're pretty much, you know, finished.
Wrap it up.
You're wrapping it up for the year. How much money do you raise during the course of the year? Say from January to December.
Well over $80,000, I would say, that is donated to us.
And you obviously get paid as a, you know, as a paid employee.
Yes.
You have you draw a salary.
Yes.
As your other 11 other employees do. So where does that money come from?
That money is solely comes through the sales of the thrift store.
Okay.
And what we really like to say is 100% of the actual monetary donations goes out to help the 3 communities that we are supporting.
Yeah, yeah. Now you draw a modest salary, if you don't mind me asking. Am I going to embarrass you now?
I had one of my board members say, well, she makes her nickel an hour.
Is that right?
No, I do. You know, I'm blessed. I don't know what people would consider a modest salary, but to me, it wouldn't matter. I think if I even received a salary, I really love what CAP stands for and what the ministry does and who we are and the support of the community and what Cinder Rocker started so many years ago.
Right, right. Hey, another email question. How about the thrift stores? Does that revenue help support CAPS?
It does, yes. It, of course, the overhead of just running the place, but the building and all that we are on is all taken care of, so we don't have to worry about that. But just overhead and staffing.
How do you keep, where does the money come from for the overhead? Just to keep the building open, the lights on?
That would be from the sales of the thrift store.
Sales of the thrift stores. You got to pay a PG&E bill, I'm assuming.
Sure.
You got to pay taxes on the property.
Yes.
Now, does the organization own the building, or?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Oh, we can't move your chair.
No, I'm sorry. I started to get comfortable.
So, yeah. So the organization owns the building?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So since when?
I want to say about 15 or 20 years ago.
Okay.
Because we moved. We were in a separate location there in Kingsburg.
Right. Most of the people who donate, do they donate food or do they donate cash?
Both. Both. We
Okay.
get both food and cash, but I would say the bulk would probably be the cash, and then we can utilize that to purchase. If our food drives are just, we need more food throughout the year, we
Yeah.
certainly purchase that
Yeah.
with the donated funds.
Okay, we've got to take a break here on Connect with Me, MeTV Fresno. We're talking with Aida Rushing from Caps in Kingsburg, California out there, and they serve Traver and London as well. You're welcome to call in at 436-MeTV option 11. Back in just a moment.
As a pro athlete, I played on green grass my entire career and was stunned to find a product that could make my home look as good as the turf I've grown to love. Turf Medics is a revolutionary new turf coloring system designed to reduce watering and mowing. Call 1-888-936-0444 or visit the website at www.turfmedics.com to learn more about Turf Medics by Pro Turf, the real experts in real green grass.
A top secret location. It's the spies who love me, bringing together MeTV's top super spies to fight evil at a memorable moment's notice. They're daring.
That's right.
Brave.
Now what are we gonna do?
The best we can.
Suave.
Does that apply to me, Oscar?
Possibly. And smart.
The old finger in the gun trick.
Maxwell Smart.
MeTV Fresno, channel 43.6 and Xfinity 187.
Hey, back here on the program, thanks to Lorenzo Neal and Turf Medics for being our sponsor today. So I want to ask you about some of the canneries and packing houses and if they, in fact, provide some surpluses there for your organization, because that's one of our email questions. Go ahead.
When we had Del Monte there, they definitely did. But that closed down, and I can't remember if it's been a couple of years now. But our
How
local...
big a blow was that to you?
Yeah, I would say it was. We discussed that at a couple of our board meetings due to just the fact that folks shopped at our store that work there, and the fact that they supported us so much.
Yeah.
But we're doing well still. We get the support of pretty much all the local farmers in our community. They bring fresh fruit, vegetables whenever we need it. They just support what we do.
Okay,
So, yes.
436 MeTV option 11 as we look at some more video from the organizational skills of some of these volunteers. It's pretty amazing. Caps in Kingsburg. And what year would you say was the biggest down year of your time? When did you see the most people coming in? Was it during the economic crunch a few years ago?
Yes. And then recently.
Recently?
This summer.
This
Because
summer?
I want to say it's because of the drought. Normally, our folks who are working in the field or doing type of field work don't come in during the summer. We see less need, but this summer we saw more need. Our pantry was literally empty, and it was on a prayer that
During the summer, it was empty.
Well, right before our Thanksgiving food drive, because we had served so many families, more than our norm during the summer months, and we were just really praying. Okay, but it seemed like we always met the need of people who came in. They never were turned away without anything. So our food drive was a really essential part of this year for us, and we were very blessed.
Wow. So during the summer, you were down and out in terms of the number of food items that you had.
Yes, we just kept posting in our newsletter, posting on Facebook, and people were faithful.
You know, it seems like your organization is very similar to like the food bank here in Fresno.
I don't know the food bank here.
You don't know the food bank here in Fresno?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, the food bank has been around for quite a long time. Andy Souza runs the food bank over there.
Oh, yes, I do. I'm sorry. You're the
Yeah.
community, yes.
The community food bank.
Yes.
Yeah, so you guys are like the community food bank in many ways. Because you collect food and people come and get the items, much like they do at the community food bank.
And we're part of the community food bank ourselves. We purchase food from them.
Yeah. Oh, you do?
Yes.
So you know Andy Souza over
I don't
there.
know him personally.
Okay.
But I do know the
They do
staff.
fine work over there.
Yes, they do. We really appreciate working with them.
Do you foresee any time in the near future that you're going to expand into other communities besides the three that you're in now?
We've been asked. I don't know.
What will it take?
More me's.
What does that mean?
Because I oversee all three entities. So it is, you know.
Is it overwhelming for you as an individual, or?
No, right now it's really fulfilling.
But if you expand it into other communities, such as Sanger, let's say, I'm just using that as an example.
I think Sanger is too far, but
too far, but I'm just saying, other communities nearby, if you expand it into 2 or 3 more cities, would that be a little too much to take on at this point?
At this point, probably. Right now, I think what we're doing it well, and we're really helping the families that we believe need the help at this moment. So we don't know what the future holds.
Right. Okay. Give out your phone number and location one more time, if you could.
Our phone number is 559-897-7961. And our address is 1139 Draper in Keansburg.
Anything else that you'd like people to know about your organization that we haven't talked about today? Because we've talked a lot about your organization and what you do in the past 55 minutes here or so. Anything else that we didn't touch on that I may have overlooked?
I don't think so. I think we've pretty much covered everything.
Okay. All right. Well, you know, it's been a pleasure having you on the show. I know we got a couple of more minutes left. It's 436-ME-TV option 11. The volunteers, let me ask you quickly about the volunteers before we go. Not much time left, just a couple of minutes or so. These are the Young Life volunteers, and are these mainly kids? And if so, what ages?
Yes, they are. They're mainly kids, and they're high school age. I would say freshman through senior.
How many of them are there?
Well, there was a lot that night. I don't remember. I mean, the Young Life organization spreads out to any high school or junior high kid that wants to hang out there. But that night, maybe 70. I don't know.
Right.
I didn't count them.
These are kids from all over the valley that can join in.
From our community.
Yeah, from your community. Okay, from just your community. Okay, and what is the Young Life Christian organization? What type of
what does it
organization are they? What do they do?
Well, it is ran by Johnny and Jane Thompson, who have. I don't want to be. I don't want to say it wrong, but I believe they've been there. I attended Young Life, and that was 25 years ago. So I really believe they've been the directors for probably over 40 years there in Keansburg. And it's just an opportunity to share the love of Christ with any young person that wants to come and hear more. And they do games and just hang out, and it's a huge building right next to the high school, and it's just a lot of fun. And they do a lot for our community.
Yeah, so you were a part of that organization at one time, many moons ago, and so now you're still there.
I'm still there.
Yeah, and now you're running this organization called CAPS. Are you kind of surprised at that a little bit? How you kind of just slid right in there?
I am surprised, but I believe that this is where the Lord has me and wants me.
Right. Okay, well, Ida, we're out of time. We're going to wish you the best of luck, and congratulations on a job well done, and continue the big fight there over there in Kingsburg, Traver, and London, and your organization called CAPS, a non-profit, and have a happy holiday season.
Thank you. Merry Christmas to you.
Well, thank you. Merry Christmas to you and all your volunteers and staff, and Happy New Year.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks for coming on the program. Maybe you'll come back next year.
I'd love to. Thank you for having me.
All right. Ida Rushing from CAPS out in Kingsburg. Hey, our thanks to Lorenzo Neal today from Turf Medics. He was our sponsor on this program. We're glad to have him and his staff along. Great organization that he has there. Check out his commercial. Check out his product. It's a wonderful product. Hope you have a great weekend. We'll see you back here on Monday, a special program with 2 fitness experts. One of them you know very well. He's been on this program many times. The other one, you're going to get to know, I guarantee you. We're back on Monday. Have a good one. Stay safe.